Cliff Yates here, everybody. I'm here on Elm Tree Island. I made it to my private island here in the Thousand Islands, New York. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'm resurrecting this channel, which only deals with island life living, living on the water. And so if that resonates with you, what's it like to live on a private island? And I can only live here a few months out of the year because it gets dangerously, it gets severely cold here in the winter, everybody. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, let's grow this channel. Right now, we're only at a couple of hundred subscribers. But hey, listen, with your help, let's grow this channel, the island life. If that's something that resonates with you, living on the water, boating, fishing, these kinds of things. I'm in the Thousand Islands, New York. Now, I know I'm going live in vertical mode on the YouTube channel, so I know I'm reaching people from all over the world. And I know people are jumping in and out of the shorts feed. So this may not be the channel for you, but I think it might be for a lot of people. So let's get thousands of people jumping on here right now and subscribe. Let's grow this channel. I think we can blow this channel up this summer. I'm going to be filming a series from my island. This is Elm Tree Island. I am in the Thousand Island region of upstate New York. If you haven't already, everybody subscribe to the channel. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for checking in, everybody. I'm about to take you on a walk around the island. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to come on, and then we will take a walk around the beautiful island. And we are really blessed today to have a warm day here in Chippewa Bay, New York. I arrived yesterday on my island, which was handed down. This island was handed down from my grandmother to my mom and now to me. And so since the 1940s, we've had this island in my family, and it continues to stay as such. All right, everybody, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're waiting for more people to jump on here live. All right, I'm live here in Chippewa Bay, New York, and I know some people are going to be jumping in and out of the shorts feed. And so I like to do that because I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed to the channel. Well, listen, we're going to grow this channel this summer. And because this summer I will be on this island from yesterday, May 8th. I will continue to live here on my private island until October, God willing. And during that time, I'm going to be filming a series, Elm Tree Island. And it's really going to be about all the things that it takes and what happens, the good times, the bad times here on the island, the good weather, the bad weather. Sometimes we get very, very severe weather here on the island. Hey, thanks for checking in. Hey, good morning. Yeah, I'm live here at Chippewa Bay, New York, everybody. Thousand Islands, New York. I'm on my own private island. Listen, hey, we're growing this channel back up again. I'm going to be filming all summer long. If living on the water life, private island life, if that resonates with you, hey, subscribe to the channel. We're growing this channel. It's going to be a community of island life. And so I'm here on my private island. We're going to take a walk around the island. First, I got to acknowledge you. Hey, I'm Cliff Yates, everybody. You are amazing yourself. Hey, hello, how are you? Glad you're here on the channel. I've got two channels, but this channel deals with just island life living, everybody. As a matter of fact, I want to show you, hey, there's some baby geese right there. I don't want to go too close. They're a little spooked right now, but that's what happens when you arrive on the island. Sometimes you come across nature at its best. And we got two geese with their babies right here. I did a video earlier. I'm going to put that up on this channel. But I'm here in the Thousand Islands, New York, everybody. And that's where the name of the dressing came from. Thousand Island dressing came from this area right here. Back in 1905, one of the original owners of the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, he was building a castle on an island right down the river here. And he had his steward of his yacht make up the ingredients for Thousand Island dressing. He took that dressing back to the Waldorf Astoria in New York City, and it became so popular. And of course, it has its name today all over the world. Thousand Island dressing came from this area, St. Lawrence River, everybody. I'm going to take a walk down my island here, and we're lucky today. It's 65 degrees. I arrived here yesterday, May 8th. This is the earliest that I've arrived on my island here in New York State. May 8th is the earliest, and it was 49 yesterday, and I woke up today, it was 40, and now we got up to 65, so I'm blessed. But I'm going to be taking some drone footage today of the island for the channel trailer. So you can check that out later. And I have a bunch of videos already on here about how I deal with bugs, my septic system, and just all about the Thousand Island region of upstate New York. This is the St. Lawrence River. It's all fresh water. Everybody, this water here flows out of the Great Lakes. And it comes past my island there. That's the main shipping channel. And it goes north past Montreal and then gradually out into the Atlantic Ocean. Fresh water, no sharks. It's clean water. And I have electricity, Wi-Fi, and full toilet facilities. I got kind of a state-of-the-art septic system here on the island. I'll explain. And I did a whole video on it. And the local news came here 2 years ago to film the septic system. It's kind of a state-of-the-art thing. And it's something that I needed because it's all of these islands, most of them are made out of granite. And so it's hard to put a leach field with your septic system. So I needed a different kind of system for my toilets, but I wanted regular toilets. I didn't want those Incinelats or those, where they burn shit up. And I wanted regular toilets. So that's what I got. And we did film a movie. We filmed a horror movie on this island. It's called Devil's Island 2021. I don't get any money from it, so check it out. And it's not the best movie in the world, but it's pretty damn good. And it was filmed in 2021 during pandemic time. So, my producer and New Zealand Sun Films, thank you for all the work you did. And, he did everything right. We tested everybody. We had actors come in one at a time, two at a time, and we did it right. But, yeah, so this is the earliest I've been here on the island. I'm going to be filming a series here on the island, everybody. So, hey, join up. Hey, subscribe to the channel, then you'll get notified when the next video comes out. I'm going to have a series, a playlist, where I deal with just island life living. Specifically this summer, all the episodes are going to deal with here on Elm Tree Island. And right over there is Singer Castle. You can look that up. And if you want to look up where my island is, you want to know exactly where I am on the earth, go to Google Earth and put in Elm Tree Island in Hammond, New York. And then you'll know exactly where I am. Boy, it's a beautiful day today. So lucky today, 65. And man, yesterday when I rolled in, it was windy and 50. And it was rough coming over in the boat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be putting that as my episode 1, coming here, episode 1, opening up the cottage. And there's not much for me to do, really. Before I get here to the island, I have a plumber that comes out here by boat, and he puts the water pump in, and he gets the water system going, and he makes sure all the toilets are flushing and the sinks are working properly. And then he leaves it, and then I show up a couple days later. And I have my guy at the island who stores my boats over there in the mainland, and he puts my boats in the water. And so at the local, it's a small little yacht club, but one of the first in the United States, Chippewa Bay Yacht Club. And my boat's waiting for me. And then I get here. But this is the earliest that I've been on the island. May 8th is my earliest time. Last year I got here May 15th. And so this year it's nice to get here early because I'm getting here before most of the bugs. In the summertime here on the island in upstate New York, and I have to keep saying where I'm at because the other day people were asking, are you in the United States? Sometimes I forget that I'm broadcasting, I'm streaming to the world. Last week I had people from Italy, France, French red wine was the channel that checked in, and somebody also from Germany. And so I had to remind myself and people watching, yes, I'm in the United States, one of the greatest countries in the world. We can do what we want. We can make as much money as we want here, and we can buy private islands like this. Now, this island was left to me by my grandmother through my mom first, and then to me. So Singer Castle, right over there, 1905-ish is when that first castle was built. And they do tours through there. I've been on probably 30 to 40 tours. When people come visit me on the island, I take them over to go through the castle. And boy, it's a peaceful time. There's not a lot of boating activity right now. There's not a lot of people on the islands right now. I got a few neighbors, and there's a few fishermen out here. But of course, bass season does not open until I think the third Saturday in June, something like that. And then it'll be full of bass fishermen all over the place. This is one of the best bass fisheries. The St. Lawrence River is one of the best bass fisheries in the US. And so Major League Fishing will come around when they have a big tournament, and also Bassmasters. And I'll have bass fishermen right outside my bedroom window when I wake up in the morning. And so this is the size of the island, everybody. So, I want to build up this channel this summer. I want to get it monetized, and I want to, build up a following, just because my other channel is for motivation, inspiration, personal growth, self-improvement. But this channel is specifically for island life, the island living on the water, boating, fishing, these kind of things, the challenges that you might have if you have a private island. What actually happens here? Actually, I just saw a bunch of little midges. Midges are little tiny flies that we get here for a couple weeks. So bugs will come in season, and sometimes they'll stay for just 2-3 weeks, and then they're gone. And then mayflies will come out of the water, and then mayflies will be thick for 2-3 weeks, and then they'll go away. And so then other things will come around, and you just deal with it, really. But one of the great things about coming this time of year when it's still chilly, there's not a lot of bugs, no bees, no nothing. And so it's really nice. And I'm going to get ahead of manicuring the island. Last year I was in a depressed state. I was really down, going through a divorce. I mean, really. And I had to focus on not getting too depressed or in too much despair. So I focused on working out, eating healthy, instead of drinking and wallowing in self-pity. I tried to do what I could. And of course, being on an island is a great thing in one respect, so peaceful and secluded. And on the other side of it, you're kind of secluded. And so you're alone with your thoughts. But I had a lot of visitors last year came out to support me. But all this, if I don't keep up on it, this will grow thick. This will grow thick. This will be thick, and then it attracts a lot of bugs. So this year I'm going to try to work on keeping the island manicured beautifully. And so today, luckily, it's a warm day, and it's pretty calm, so I can fly the drone. So for the island channel, I'm going to film a new sequence, above the island. And from the one when I first started, boy, is it beautiful. Memorial Day is pretty much when everybody comes to the island, or they first come that weekend. And my local group of islands here in Chippewa Bay, we get together for a little cocktail get together Memorial Day weekend, and we kind of kick off the summer season. But there are a few neighbors here. I had one of my good neighbors, Rob. He's about a mile down the river, and he came down. One of his docks had floated away that he had built last year, and he was looking for it. Those are the kind of things that happen here in the Thousand Islands region of upstate New York, everybody. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And maybe later tonight, I'll do a live question and answer about the island. Let me know if that would interest you. And, people always have a lot of questions. How do you get your groceries? Where do you get your food? What about your drinking water? What about the toilets? What kind of fish are in here? And I was saying before what a great bass fishery this is. It's considered one of the best in the country for smallmouth bass, but also northern pike, muskie, walleye. Those are the major, muskie for sure. But definitely smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, and northern pike and muskellunge. Those are the major. Walleye too. I've never caught a walleye here. A lot of people have caught walleye. I never caught a walleye. Maybe this will be my year. I haven't been doing a lot of fishing. I don't know. I kind of like seeing the fish, and I snorkel around the island. The water is pretty clear here, although it's cold right now. I was talking to somebody earlier, and they says, hey, do a cold plunge. And I actually will. I actually will go in. Last year I went in, it was May 15th. And at that time, the water was 57 degrees. And I was able, I tell you, I could only stay in that water for a minute and a half or 2 minutes. And I felt invigorated. But I don't know how these people go in on these cold plunges with water at 35, 40, 45 degrees. I mean, I think at 55, that's still good for your system. That's a good cold plunge. And I think any colder than that, I don't know if it's that beneficial, but I guess it is. But so I'm giving I'm giving you a walking, talking tour of the island here. You can see the granite here. This is all Laurentia granite. All the islands here, the Thousand Islands, were carved thousands of years ago by a big glacier. And it left all these islands, this area right here. The St. Lawrence River, there's an area of about 20 miles, and there's 1,864 islands. Yeah, that's exactly how many there are. And they range from tiny little islands to big islands. Mine is pretty much a small island, but there's islands with castles on them, like Singer Castle. And then Bolt Castle is the big castle where George Bolt, one of the original owners of the Waldorf Astoria, that's where he developed the ingredients for Thousand Island dressing. But that area over there is the mainland. That's mainland over there. And then way over there is Canada. So I'm looking at Canada. As a matter of fact, the Canadian line, it's not a regular, it's a line subjective in the water. It runs just to the other side of the castle over there. And then you're in Canadian waters. And I'll tell you what, if you get caught over there fishing and you don't have a Canadian fishing license, they'll nail you. A big fine, and they might even take your boat. The Canadians don't play around as much as we think maybe they're liberal or they're no. Ooh, you don't mess around in Canada. As a matter of fact, last year my stepson and I went to Ottawa, and wow, they jammed us up at the border. I'm a retired cop, clean cut, clean shaven. My stepson, he doesn't even drink. They had us there for 2 hours tearing our car apart. And it's just ridiculous. And they're not too friendly either. But we made it. We enjoyed our visiting Ottawa. And I'm going to try to get to Montreal this year because I'm about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive from Montreal. I think only 2.5 hours. And that's going to be good to get back to Montreal. I haven't been there in, it's been probably it's actually been 20 years since it's been 20 years since I've been to Montreal. So I want to get back to Montreal. They have a big tennis tournament before the US Open in New York, which I'll be going on too. So when I go from the island here to I go to the US Open to get off the island, then it's just it's an hour and 45-minute drive to Syracuse, New York. And then I fly in. It's about an hour to JFK, New York. And then I go and watch the US Open. And it's great to be on the island. Believe me, it's paradise. But, after a few days, you're ready to get off the island. So I do get off the island 2 to 3 times a week. I get off the island. I actually go on the mainland, and I have a gym that I go to, and I play tennis with a group. And of course, while I'm out there, then I do my grocery shopping. So you kind of do that when you're off the island and on the mainland. You try to get everything done in one trip. You just can't jump in the car and go to the store. That's one thing you can't do. And so I got some firewood here that my cousin brought to me, which I needed last night for sure. This is my little shed. I got a treadmill. I got a pull-up bar, and I got some weights. So I can do quite a bit of working out here on the island. And I have 4 vessels. I have a Sea Ray right here. Okay, and then I have a little runabout boat that'll be put in next week. And then I have 2 jet skis. So I have the 4 vessels. And I have a stand-up paddleboard, and I have 2 kayaks. And so it's just fun times here on the private island, and I hope you subscribe to the channel. Let's start building this channel up, and let's get some watch time in. Check out some of my other videos. I'm glad you're here. If living on the water, the island life interests you, I'll try to keep it entertaining as I possibly can. I'm definitely going to bring you the energy. I have another channel that's motivational, inspirational. It's all personal growth, self-improvement, how we can get better every day in every way than we were yesterday. So I'm always going to bring the energy, and I'm kind of, not complaining, but I find it interesting and fascinating. I was watching a lady who started her YouTube channel, and she's 73, and she spoke in a real monotone voice like this. And, you know, I mean, nice lady, obviously, but I was just kind of fascinated that she had 7,000 subscribers, and she made a video that was basically very monotone like this. And I found it kind of boring, and there was no special view behind her. And she had 7,000 views in the last 21 hours. And so sometimes I'm fascinated by what people get here. Hey, but let's, this is the septic system, everybody. So everything comes out of the toilets and the sinks. They go through here. This is not really a macerator, but it kind of churns things up and breaks them up. And then it goes into this tank here. Tank number 1. And it revolves around in here. It circulates the solids. And there's things in here. They call it media, plastic pieces that break up the solids. And then it gets shipped over here. And over here, it gets filtered through. And if there's any solids that don't break up or got in here, it'll go back into here to go through again until it's really liquidy. And then it goes into the 3rd tank after it goes through an ultraviolet light, which kills everything in the water. And then this lift tank will fill up, which activates a pump, and it actually pumps to a leach field that I do have. It's really not necessary. You know, in a lot of states, they don't even have a leach field after that. When the water comes out of there, it's clear. And most people put it into their garden or whatever, but the island is very strict on septic systems. They don't want anything going into the water. And so I have oh, you're going to see the baby geese, everybody. There's the baby geese. Yep, there's the mama and papa geese. I don't know what you call those, goslings, or, you know. They're only a few days old, these geese. Crazy, right? Crazy. Oh, anyways, it gets pumped from there, the septic system, all the way over there to, right there is my leach field, which is 30 feet long, 10 feet deep of pea stone. And that's the name of that tune, everybody. So we got decks all the way around the cottage. And the main cottage here was, well, the main cottage was built in 1949-ish. And then in 1970s, my mom and dad put a porch on that side. And then in 2000, they put another porch on. And then in 2015, I put a 2nd bathroom in. And in 2015, we put in the screened-in porch, which is beautiful for sitting out at night. Believe it or not, once in a while, there's some hot days, and we get to actually cool off and stay outside late at night and spend time in the porch. All right, everybody, I'm so glad you stopped in here to Elm Tree Island. And if you're just showing up in the shorts feed, I'm Cliff Yates, everybody. This is my channel, The Island Life. We're going to make this channel blow up, you and me. And you can help me out. Subscribe to the channel. There's going to be some great videos this summer. I'm going to be filming a whole series, right? Long form. There goes my camera. Whoa! You saw it live, everybody. You saw it live. We're going to do it live. I better hang on. All right, everybody. This is the original dock right here. This dock was made the old-fashioned way with cribs. In other words, they did piles of stones. And actually under here it was cemented over. And now that dock was put in 2015 with a modern way of putting in docks. They came out here in February and they actually drilled, they pile drive into the bottom of the river. These pilings, a metal frame, and then they attach the wood around it. And so the ice the ice can take away individual boards, but they will not take away the frame of that dock. Now this dock, like I said, had cement on it. However, the oil slick of 76, there was a tanker that ran aground out here in the main channel. And that tanker spilled oil over everything to the point where you can still see rocks along the edges of islands. You can see a black line where the oil mark was. And so our cement dock during the high water where the oil slick happened, the waves put oil all over the dock. And so we had to have a wooden top put on that dock. And that's what we did. But maybe you can see a big ship come down the channel while I'm here. It is possible to do that. All right, everybody, I'm live from Elm Tree Island, and I first arrived yesterday, May 8th. The earliest that I've ever arrived on the island was yesterday, May 8th. All right, everybody, let me see see if I can recognize people here who are checking in. So glad you're here. You can't hear me. All right. Yeah, you can go see the wolf later, absolutely. All right, everybody, hello. I hope you can hear me. All right, everybody, I got my mic going. If you can't hear me, I think it's on your end. Let me know if you can hear me, everybody. All right. Cliff Yates, Elm Tree Island. All right, everybody, I am going to let you go. I've got some filming with the drone to do. And thank you for subscribing, and let's build this community of island life living. And I'll see you in the next video.